Yeah.
Tell me this guy doesn't want the bun and his sausage McMuffin. I think he needs those. I think he has those carbs.
Is this guy
as well.
American? Why is he eating bread?
I don't know if that's you voting against me or like
we
at the podium or something. Like
we might have been watching different movies.
We were watching different movies.
When you have Michael Fassbanger and Tilda Swinton, that's money.
I think you just called him
Fassbanger.
Fassbanger, dude. I love it. All right. I'm not mad. So to speak. So to speak.
His
Yeah.
adult.
So to speak is like his Chris's pause. Yeah.
So to speak.
His ipso facto.
All right, welcome to the Avenue 54 Film Club review of David Fincher's The Killer.
Yes.
We just watched this one at the crib.
I find music a useful distraction. Breathe. Breathe. Calm.
Prepare to be excited.
This is what it takes. If you want to succeed. Hey.
What's the consensus?
I thought it was shot really well, and honestly, my expectation of it pretty much aligned with the title of the movie, kind of.
Yeah, with what you got. Yeah.
Like dudes. I didn't expect it to take the like, oh, he fucked up. He got a girl. I really thought when I turned to you and I was like,
yeah,
all right, they're gonna have to clean up the mess, right?
Yeah.
Like that's pretty straightforward. That's
Yeah.
pretty much like, oh, he fucked up. He has a set of rules, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
The adding the girlfriend and the backstory kind of thing when you just met a guy who supposedly like, yo, I don't believe in attachments, all this other shit, but like. He got it on his downtime. He got downtime, And then for that same guy to have that situation, obviously, I don't think that he would assume that his handler knew that he had a chick,
Yeah.
So they were just going there to kill him because that's when dudes like, hey, I think you're gonna go back to DR. Like you fucked up. Like who goes back home?
Yeah,
he's about to disappear. Like
right.
You've got more money than you could ever spend. Thanks in no small part to me. So why aren't you already on the other side of the globe under any number of aliases spending it?
I saw it in the theater by myself a week ago, and then when I left, I was like, I don't think I need to watch it again. And then it just kind of stayed with me. Mm-hmm. And when it was suggested that we watch it again, I was like, okay, I want to watch that again. And this time I like it more now that I saw it a second time. I just love the procedural in general, and this is like instead of like a police procedural, this is like a contract killer procedural, and like seeing how the sausage is made with that level of like fun detail is just like
so to speak.
Sorry, I don't like sausage that much.
No, I after everything closes, I'm like, I mean, like I was saying, how else can you really end this? Like, if he dies, it's unsatisfying.
It's very unsatisfying.
Yeah, it's super unsatisfying. Like if somebody walks in and that last scene is just like, I'm smoking this guy. It's like,
that's not cool.
Then you gotta have to explain it even more to me now.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't hint at like this is total happiness. Like he obviously like, I think that little like Twitch situation, like kind of hints at like. It might be good, but I'm still who I am,
Yeah, he's still a sociopath. Yeah.
I mean, it could have established the relationship with his girlfriend a little bit more. He literally only has a conversation with her. She's already in the hospital bleeding out after 2 blood infusions. And at the very end, he has a memory of her, like, in the bed, and she's like, and they don't even speak. He's like, nice to have a chick here. Okay. Like,
you know what?
Like, there's no real relation, but he's kind of a robot to the whole thing. So even a little bit of humanity.
I mean, that's kind of what I like about that. It doesn't overindulge in any of the like tropes. Mm-hmm. It's just a straightforward, hey, this is a contract killer. This is how he kills people. This is all of the methodology, and the only real like psychology to it is like that. Although he's training himself to be this like methodical, no empathy, no connection. Person, the whole thing's driven by revenge. The whole thing becomes a revenge story, you know, after the first quarter.
And I think for me, that's when the movie switched. So for me in particular, when it became a revenge story, you got to see more of an attraction towards his character. At first, it was just a lot of dialogue.
So to speak.
Oh, yeah, so to speak.
Yeah. You weren't actually attracted to his character, were
But
you?
handsome man as he is, that,
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm more attracted to him as Magneto. We can even go as far as the android in Prometheus, so I think he was kind of on that level as well.
It was.
It was very David. Yeah.
You know what, though?
Vibes.
Thinking about what you just said about the relationship with this girl, maybe that last little thing is like, oh, fuck, like, this is my life.
Right. I did all of that for this.
A relationship with a vegetable.
Yeah, I'm a boyfriend now.
That's the punch. That's the punchline.
I'm a rich boyfriend.
And it is because he said, he's like, in the beginning, he's like, just do everything you can to not be the many, to be the few. And at the end, he's like, don't, you know, I'm
Maybe
the
you're
many.
not like me.
I guess I'm
Yeah,
the many.
I'm the many.
But
I'm
I'm
the
part of the many.
Yeah.
One of the many.
Yeah, so that is. But I mean,
Part 2, he has 3 kids.
It's like it's a bit of at the end of Goodfellas where he comes out with the newspaper and he's like,
right.
yeah,
And he's like,
I'm not
fuck.
doing
This is my fucking life now.
It's my fucking life.
I'm the schmo.
Get to live the rest of my life like a schnook.
But I mean, that's what because I think the guy who wrote the screenplay was the same guy who wrote Seven. And that's one of the things I really liked about Seven. The relationship between Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow was pretty downplayed. Like, you got just enough of it at the house with him playing with the dogs, and then the one like coffee shop scene with her and Morgan Freeman to care when what's in the box mattered.
Oh, what's in the box?
Because of that, but they didn't overindulge in the relationship much. There was like one phone call at the precinct and those 2 scenes, you know? Like, I like that.
I think, well, talking on Seven, though, I think that also establishes the fact that they were dealing with, like, a serial killer. He can't really invest in his chick. They just moved to town. Like,
yeah.
So it's like all they definitely set up the tension of this is rushed. This guy doesn't really know what the fuck is going on, and now he's just thrust into this thing, you know?
Yeah.
While Morgan Freeman is just like, hey, man, you know, I'm the older guy.
You might want to.
Why don't everybody calm down?
You want to calm
Catch this
down.
guy.
a little
Meanwhile, in
bit,
this
yeah.
movie, he
Somebody
kills
help
Morgan
him.
Freeman.
Somebody
He shoots
help
Morgan
him.
Freeman in the head. And then Morgan Freeman was the handler. He takes care of him, puts him in a recycling bin, and gets him out, and is like, take care of him.
You know what? Speaking on that scene, two times in the movie, well, actually 3 times in the movie, where he's like, you set up this guy who's like super established with his understanding of everything, right? Then he has moments when it's just like, ah, fuck. Then like, ah, fuck with the dog, and then like, this dude should last like, oh.
Should last 6, 7 minutes.
Yeah. He starts out.
Flaw
very
is the
much so.
fact that this Dominican girl would fall in love with the guy who never smiles.
That sounds like a dad.
This guy
Being
is
Dominican myself. Like all their dads.
Okay, so she fell in love with a dad
very,
type.
but he's a creepy. He's very creepy, and the fact that like,
Did you see the house?
The
Did
house
you see
was
the
nice.
house?
The house was
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
He had the money.
Being in the DR, you saw the house, right?
Let's establish the fact that, you know, male-female relationships, when somebody got a lot of money and really nice things, people tend to fall in love with them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Not such a
Ignore the
stretch
flaws.
in my
Yeah.
eyes.
Right? Male or female?
Hey, but mommy, he doesn't smile.
Yeah.
Do you think there's very many dudes who have a house like that are not sociopaths?
I mean, I think
No,
they would
probably not.
a bit, like
Probably
killing
not.
in some way, but like maybe have it tell a
I don't
joke.
think they should have added the brother, though. I think the brother's a waste of time.
I think the brother was basically all of the small part actors. I think sucked. Tilda Swinton was incredible in her little monologue section.
For what it's worth.
That sequence was great, and Arliss Howard wasn't too bad. But basically every other small actor, also the secretary wasn't bad.
It was a funny thing. It
wasn't
was a
bad.
funny game to play. Of like we were playing, like it was like, okay, what would you do,
Right.
if a guy came to you with the potato and the gun,
That is a good game to play.
and like be like,
Yes.
okay, you know you're gonna die.
Right.
how do you act?
Yeah, that's
Right.
what That's what I was saying. I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta do a quid pro quo at that point. Where it's
Yeah.
just like,
You gotta figure it out.
you're gonna end up killing me, right? Ultimately,
Yeah.
Like, so I'm either not gonna tell you shit, and then you're just gonna have to deal, which means you kill me right now, or I tell you stuff that you need to know. And then, like, I don't know what the fuck the pro quo was for this guy. He's gonna want to kill me.
It's
like,
a lot of quid. No, they're
That guy sucked too. Like that was bad acting.
When you have Michael Fassbanger and Tilda Swinton, that's money.
I think you just
Fast
called him
banger.
Fassbanger, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. I'm not mad. So to speak.
Bang, bang.
So to speak.
Bang, bang, bang.
So to speak. All right.
Super fast banger.
The Fassbanger.
When you got Fassbanger in the mix,
Yeah, and Tilda, you know,
and Tilda.
I think that's money.
That's where your money's spent.
right.
That's where your money's spent.
For what it's worth.
And then, as a casting director, I'm sure that there was other people that maybe nailed the role a little bit more, but they probably have actually acted prior to that, so they're doing their union.
I don't know. I mean, this guy has been doing this shit for so long. It does. Whenever I see like a veteran director like this just allow shit acting to go, I'm always kind of like, what happened there? Like, what was the process where you were just like, it doesn't matter.
I think that's probably why it hit Netflix at the same time it hit theaters.
He really did not give a shit about the release at all. Like, usually the thing that usually happens with when they make these streaming deals with the auteurs is they fight for the theatrical release, and then they also get some marketing and promotion behind it. They just snuck this fucking thing out. He didn't care at all. I saw him on like a little bit of a media tour where he just kept like saying the same thing. He was just like, I liked old assassin movies like Les Samurai, you know? That's all. I just really like those movies.
I did like the narration in the first quarter of the movie had a lot of great narration of him like going through his mind and everything, but it kind of fell off. I wish it would have kept going. I wish that narration would have kept going and he was in the airplane and be like, now I'm next to someone. I can tell they're farting. I don't like the farts.
It's amazing how physically exhausting it can be to do nothing.
I think well, hopefully, I assume that it was done on purpose because he is like devolving basically into an emotionally driven person.
But I wish that we would have seen more of these like. I guess that we were supposed to see it from his actions, but I could have used more of him being like, and now I've lost, because he's trying to get it together, mentioning how he's like, that was a mistake, because he was like, never, he's like, anticipate, don't improvise. I wish he would have had a moment in the thing. It's like, time to improvise. That's what I was looking for in the movie, where he was like, okay, we switched over, and it's like, okay, time to improvise, time to
you did get a fuck it at the end.
Yeah,
he did fight. That was kind of that moment.
But his actions, I feel like his actions, like you said, it's like he's speaking one way in his head, like, oh, don't improvise, but he's improvising.
But he's improvising.
Yeah,
He's definitely sticking to his mantra in his head.
Yeah,
but he was moving differently.
It's the unreliable narrator that's going on.
Than his mantra.
Sure.
Well, so that's what my buddy was saying. He was like saying he's an unreliable narrator, and I was like, I kind of feel like he's like the most reliable because he's like telling you exactly what his thought process is. He's fully self-aware to the point that he knows he's drawn to have human emotions, so he has to convince himself always that I don't. He has to like keep working on
doing it, which is what life is all about. You got to psyop yourself into getting these.
Yeah.
But can we talk about a little bit of the first hit in the, because he had a lot of opportunities.
Will you pull this in? Will you pull the mic in a little bit?
He had a lot of chances. I feel like he was a little bit self-destructive taking that shot. Like, did he want that hit? Because ultimately, like, I think he wanted to kill the dominatrix.
No, but they did.
They explain it. They explain it.
They did make it seem like it. He was like, "Hey, let's stick to the job."
They show him veer over to her and then go stick to the plan, and then he goes back to the guy.
Stick to your plan.
this chick's not like my chick.
Yeah.
She's different.
But they do explain it actually, because he, in the voiceover, he goes, you have to wait for your heart rate to get below 60 or something in order for some I forget how he explained it. Like,
close
like,
enough.
well,
Come on,
he
pull the
said
trigger.
under 65, right? He said under 65.
Squeeze
I
the
think he said
trigger,
under
come
60.
on.
Oh, okay.
Basically, he ran down the list of the things that could affect the shot.
exactly.
The-
Through the double pane glass and
the
how it
older
might.
glass, like
yeah.
so the
glass.
opportunity doesn't leave.
Right.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, at 101, I'm sure he could have shot, but it's like, I got these regulations for shit, and
Right.
because that's what I said when he takes off the watch. I'm like, this is a fuck you moment. Like nothing matters anymore. Like I'm taking this whole shit off. Like I
Right.
just shoot now.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I pull up, I shoot
from the hip.
yeah.
Bang, 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 bang. Yeah.
Let's one also keep it 100. When he even looked outside the window without the scope, he could see people. So that determines the proximity of how close he was. So that was a little unrealistic to run down all those fucking flights of stairs and not get caught.
It worked to me.
I buy,
It worked.
To me,
I buy that.
Yeah.
I buy the
Why?
I buy the
How?
possibility.
How? Why?
I mean, honestly, if we're
you're that close in proximity. You're not. There's nothing blocking you.
so you're
He's
basically-
looking right across the
So
street.
you're saying that somebody should have seen him.
With that big ass fucking window? Who didn't see him?
I mean,
Who didn't see him? The old lady on top of that motherfucker saw him. She closed her window.
In the interior, it needed to be dark because he's in hiding.
If we're being real, like
Yeah.
human memory is not good. So even if somebody saw him, they wouldn't.
Bro,
what did they really
across
see?
the street,
How would you have done it?
20 feet across the street, I would just had to go up in there and start smoking people because I know I'm going to get caught. I know I'm going to get caught. I cannot think that I'm fucking like
think you're done.
incognito.
You're done before you started.
No
That's
way
not-
I'm thinking I'm incognito 20
not
feet across the
Fassbender.
street.
And we shot it from the other side of the soundstage, 200 feet away on a long lens, so that all the distances matched.
Not fast, you know, fast
27
blasting.
flights up. I'm sorry, bro.
You just showed us the difference between a contract killer and just a guy who.
Yeah.
No, I just showed you some
Fast
bullshit.
blaster.
I
Fast
just
blaster
showed you
is taking
some.
his
I
time.
just showed you 25 minutes of bullshit in the beginning of a movie.
Oh no, but that's to establish his character and like the whole
Absolutely.
beat of who
I
he
can't
is.
eat that though. That's not even close to realistic.
Only because you think that the places were too close to each other.
Yeah.
200 feet away.
Speaking of
Working
that, I
it,
would have
John.
liked a little bit of flashback to how he became this contract killer.
Nah, see, that's what I
Yeah,
like
I
about
wouldn't-
this
I
so
wouldn't.
much.
You don't like it. You don't
I'm
like it.
so
You don't
glad
like
that they cut out all the cliche shit. We don't need any backstory. This
We
is
didn't need
just
25
this
first
is just a
minutes of it.
straight. We're gonna take this one section of when the killer fucked up and has to go on revenge.
What an incredible storage unit this guy has, though. The storage unit.
He said he had six of them.
He has six of
He
them.
has six of them.
Globally.
Yep.
Global, incredible storage
They weren't
units.
set up like Ben
Yes.
Affleck's on accounting though. They were those were dope.
Oh, the accountant.
Yeah.
But he had,
Yeah,
He
the
was a
whole-
little autistic.
He had
like
the whole
that.
RV
yeah,
up in
yeah,
that
for sure.
bitch.
They don't
and shit. He had
admit-
the
they
whole
don't
RV
admit-
up in that
honestly,
bitch and
that,
shit.
I saw that movie the
With
guy on the plane,
Picassos.
and then I saw it on a plane and thought to myself, I didn't actually just watch this. So then I went home and rented it. And I watched it again, and I was like, wait, is homie playing really loud music and beating himself? Because he's autistic? Is this a thing?
Yeah.
And like I looked it up on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this like a thing that autistic people do? 'Cause I need to know, you know? And like, not to that extreme, but like there's like, you know, like headphones with like, you know,
It
there's,
is-
like,
it is a
like
thing.
sounds and
Yeah,
shit.
sound
But I'm like,
sensory.
yeah, but I'm
Very
like, yo,
much
bro's
so.
really
I
like, what is that?
understand
Like,
that.
like one of the like the, you know, when you put a pool stick together, like the
Yeah.
He had a bar and he
I'm
rubbed
like,
it
what the
across
fuck
his
is he doing?
shin. And
Who did
Yeah,
he
it's a
study?
lot.
Who did he study for this fucking role? Who's the autistic accountant murderer that this fucking dude just picks?
but look, let's
Accountant
let's
is
not
undoubtedly
digress.
a better movie, but
Let's not digress.
like we are digressing, so I'm trying to take back to the killer.
It's our favorite.
It comes back.
The killer,
It's our
I think
favorite.
that he did have some undiagnosed autism. Obviously, he was autistic.
He
right?
was on the spectrum for sure.
definitely
There's
was
a
on the
high
spectrum.
level OCD.
Yes.
High
Very
level
OCD.
OCD.
Very OCD.
Very.
And you kind of need to be.
Lot of
You need to be
disabilities.
OCD if you're going to be that fastidious
Yes.
about taking care of your business.
Yeah.
Handle
Yes.
business. He was standing on business in a way that was very like clean and
Very
meticulous.
which
Is
makes
part
it so
of the-
like, makes it so nice because I know that I can never be a serial killer.
I feel
way
like
too sloppy.
I feel
Way
like the
too
thing is
sloppy.
though is that's the job aspects of him being a serial killer is the meticulous parts.
Yeah.
While like him normally based on the girlfriend and everything.
He's fighting
He was
that.
sloppy.
He's
Yeah,
he's fighting
like-
being a real
he
person.
Very
He
sloppy,
wears
yeah.
underwear on the weekends and just hangs out on the couch in the Dominican Republic. Like he's that fucking guy. Like he's just like she has weird moments where she's like, "Wait, what? Like what's up with you right now?" He's like, "What do you mean? Like I'm
Yeah,
off."
his dream is to be a sociopath. Like
Yeah,
like
exactly.
he's naturally not, and he wants to be that 100%
He
of the
psyoped
time.
himself into being a sociopath to
Yeah.
do his job
Which
correctly.
makes me think that he probably inherited the job.
Might have been his dad.
Yeah, like his,
Okay. See, this is why I like
It's
the
a
don't tell
family
me.
business.
I want to speculate. I want to draw
Think
my own
about what I
conclusions.
talked to you over the weekend?
Subjective.
I don't want to do it, Dad.
Hey, look.
I don't want to do it.
First of all, your autism. It,
I like
can
numbers.
help.
I like
It could be a superpower.
You like
Let me show you
Wolverine,
how.
Right?
I love Wolverine. I like cleaning. I like books.
Do you understand what the few are and what the many are?
Opposite puzzle.
I am the few, not the many.
Talk to you about the ego, the id, and then oh, damn, you're hitting me with this stuff right
There it is. The Aleister Crowley quote came from his dad. He couldn't remember who it
His
was.
dad.
Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. To quote someone.
I remember my father told me at one time that Beethoven shot his mother, and you're like, what? Like, they didn't even have guns back then. It's like that's the kind of stuff that guy has going through his head.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Yeah.
that the point of that movie is to just have a movie, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's
It's just
that's
a
it.
straight
it's
story.
just a flick,
Yeah.
Right.
which we don't tend to have nowadays. There's always
Right.
there's always an angle.
A message or something.
Yeah, exactly. There's always some shit. It's like a biopic or
Yeah.
like, you know.
Which is why I think on those circuits he was referring to those just cut and dry assassin movies like Les Samurai, where that's it. Like that's
Yeah, Les
all you're
Samurai.
getting is like what happens. It's just like a procedural thing that shows you like start to finish, and that's it.
Because there are those people in those.
Yeah.
There are these people in the world who just kill people.
Right.
And they don't live long lives.
Right.
And they just, they, how do they live? And
Yeah.
what is going?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's not like glamorous James Bond, but it does have the travel fantasy of James Bond. Where
Sure. Sure.
You know, but it's more like, but it is kind of like more of an American James Bond where the traveling is not so glamorous.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's staying at these nondescript hotels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, it's not so like fancy.
There is like, you know, serial killing. It's not like, you know, they're
Yeah.
inclusive.
Yes.
He's very still narcissistic.
Like that one bodybuilder guy was he like, I thought he was like Middle Eastern.
that is a good point that you get the different types of serial killers or contract killers in the Florida Man and then in Tilda Swinton. That he's like the broy ex-military guy.
They call him like the Braun or whatever, like the
Something
like that.
Yeah, but
And
he's
it's-
like going to the casino with his boys and like doing all this broy shit. And then she's also, when he pulls up to her crib in New York, he's like, she lives right outside of a metro city. Like, this is not
Upstate,
common. Like,
you
what's
know,
going
she
on
was
here?
got a
Like,
massage for like
Bourgeois
2.5
squad.
hours.
right.
Yeah.
I was like,
So,
what?
and she's like living the high
I thought he
life.
was gonna go in and kill her that
Yeah, in
with
the
the
crib.
massage and like kill both of them. Which,
Yeah.
I mean,
That would have been hot.
he's slipping on his job.
Yeah,
Kinda.
I mean,
Yeah.
he
He doesn't invest
a
too
lot
much.
of it. Yeah, he wanted to be too emotional. He wanted to see their faces.
Yeah.
He was trying to get revenge.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
When he
wanted
said
to
it, like when
see-
I see
Yes.
this guy's eye,
And meanwhile, his girlfriend's gonna fuck the nurse.
Yeah, for sure.
be like,
You've been
brought me
away.
back.
You've been away for years doing revenge.
Wait,
where were you?
The one behind you.
Why are you still here? Don't you usually go away every 6 months?
Yeah, life goes back to that where he's home all the time and she's like, fuck
I mean,
this.
Yeah.
I don't work anymore.
Yeah. Now I'm just in the crib with this fucking sociopath every day.
Weird robot autism guy.
And then to your credit, to the unrealistic part of it, besides my 25 fucking minutes at the beginning of the movie, that doctor didn't
Not
take that goddamn
unrealistic.
money. You know what I'm saying? She didn't take the money
Oh, yeah,
when you
I
tried
mean,
to give it
yeah,
to him.
and
And
speaking
you
for-
said, like, hey, that
speaking
ain't
for
real.
everybody in
That
the
ain't real
Dominican
DR
Republic,
shit. So I'm like,
The doctor
Hey,
should have took the money.
now I'm at
Should-
50%
the
of that
doctor should
fucking
have took
shit.
the money like reluctantly, like
Yeah.
Right.
Look,
Right.
Especially with the lights flickering
Yeah.
in. And
Oh,
but
you're
this
one of
could do a
those.
lot of good.
All right.
Hey, bitch, help out the light bill at least.
this goes against the Hippocratic oath, but as you can tell, the lights don't work.
But it's a little detail stuff, like the different television actors or characters that he uses for the fake names and everything.
That was classic 70s.
I thought that was a cool touch. Right. That was a cool touch.
I did think they kind of overdid it because it's like, I get he has to change identities, but like
Sam Malone was a stretch too far.
Sam Malone was right. We had to look up a lot of them. You called
Homer
the Odd Couple
Simpson.
one.
Homer Simpson.
If you're gonna do
Robin
Cheers,
Colcord.
Robin Colcord.
I'm gonna have to take some more points off of that shit because it's been stolen twice. Twice it was stolen. So I'm gonna go with Accountant. We did that already, and I'm going to go with Cable Guy with Jim Carrey.
What are you talking about? What was
Cable Guy, Jim Carrey's aliases when he was playing the character.
Oh my God! So you're
was
basically
all TV characters.
Check out some of these names: Maurice Slaughter, George Jetson, Jean-Luc Picard. There's even a guy who liked to be called the Big Ragu. Carmine from Laverne and Shirley.
We need to cut away. It says, "Let me digress." And this is you digressing.
The thing is, though, like
the digressor.
I don't
the
think
digressor.
I don't think it's a far stretch to think that like no one's gonna sit around and be like, "Yo, didn't Jim Carrey and the Cable Guy also use aliases that were?"
I just don't like a lot of pieces stolen.
As
you
the
know
other
what I
colored
mean?
person in this room, I just want to establish that. It doesn't have to be stolen. You can be influenced by something. I know where you're going with this stealing thing.
This guy is deeply troubled.
This hired killer stuff is stolen from James Bond.
Yeah, right.
Throws the script back at you.
You just can't.
I've seen Cable Guy.
You just can't piece too many similar things together that make 100% of a movie.
Nice try, David Fincher. I've seen that Jim Carrey movie.
So
Loose
I read
ties to
the
that.
first 15 pages. Why is he only 20 feet away from the other building?
20 feet.
What the fuck?
20 fucking feet.
200 feet away.
We were about to greenlight this.
Why you throw a knife at him? What's going on?
Can we make the buildings 50 feet apart?
Yeah.
Tell me this guy doesn't want the bun and his sausage McMuffin. I think he needs those. I think he has those carbs.
Is this
as
guy
well.
American? Why is he eating bread?
So not to even go that route.
What you got? What you got?
If I gave the movie, you know how we judge it or whatnot. We do it on
Okay,
a
so
5
out of 5 stars, we're closing out apparently.
Yeah.
5 bullets.
Yeah.
No, you go first, UB.
I'm gonna have to actually give it about 2.
That's exactly where I figured you were gonna go.
2.5.
Wow.
I'm shocked in the half.
Wow.
Because
This is all because of the first 25 minutes.
Yeah, because the buildings are too close.
well, not it's just again.
And they ripped off Cable Guy.
They ripped off the
yeah,
names and they
Cable
ripped
Guy.
off several things from other spy or assassination movies and whatnot. So I'll give it 2.5 on those grounds. It was a really good. I thought it was a really good movie. I would definitely watch it again. I would definitely encourage people to watch it again.
2.5. Gets a definite recommendation.
Listen to me.
Wow.
And I do that on the grounds of entertainment purposes only. Like if you like,
Not educational purposes.
not
If you were trying to become a hired killer,
Right.
this is not the way
that's
you
not the
wanna
way to
do it.
go.
No.
That's not
No.
the fucking way to go.
fucking girlfriend.
We're not talking
Don't
about
get a
20
girlfriend,
feet
first
across
of
the
all.
building. We're not talking about all
Okay.
that shit. And you got all this.
Dominican
these
Republic does not
focuses
want to have your
and the
stash house.
things
Second of
going
all,
on in your head.
I'm never gonna get food recommendations.
I would definitely give you guys a recommendation to watch it entertainment purposes only.
All right, before
it's so hilarious to have that caveat about a movie.
all right, before I give a rating,
because I did enjoy it.
It was only.
I wouldn't have an opinion if I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
So 2.5
negative,
stars.
positive, I still have an opinion.
This guy is deeply troubled.
So
this
sorry.
is great.
I'm so sorry.
We're not cutting any of this out. The Smith soundtrack I think is great. That being the Contract Killer's meditation music, I thought like really worked well. I like the using it as diegetic music pretty much the whole time, where he's either listening to it in the Walkman and the headphones, or he's listening to it in the whip, and that's when you hear that soundtrack. And then they did really cool shit because we have the 2 speakers up. I didn't notice in the theater, but they do the pan where he just has the one headphone in, so they actually pan it so you only hear it in that side, when you're looking outside the window, and then when you come back in, you hear it panned on the other side
because
because
his perspective is panned.
yeah. Some of the sound design stuff, even like you were saying, like that's a nice window. When he opens it up, they have like a good sound effect that rolls on the window when he pulls it open, and you get that like wind suck. One thing that I think is cool is like Fincher's known to be such a technician and so like detailed with everything that he does. There is like a sort maybe a meta thing about like this character is like him as a director. Like, that's kind of
always like looking through the lens,
and everything's like super nitpick, technical detail stuff,
but could still fall apart basically.
I don't know. I really liked this one when I first saw it, and like I said, I liked it better after watching it right now. It's like it's a small movie. I do think you can extract some deeper meaning from the character and what it's saying about the world and stuff like that. But for the most part, I just like it as like a procedural, revenge flick, and it works super well for me basically all the way through. So I'm gonna go like, this is like a 4 out of 5 for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if that's you voting against me or like we at the podium or something, like
This guy is deeply troubled.
We might have been watching different movies.
We were watching different movies.
I thought it was a great movie, well shot by my friend Eric Messerschmidt. Emerson College, class of 03 represents.
Name drop.
Oh shit!
Hello, my name's Eric Messerschmidt, and I am the cinematographer for The Killer.
It's phenomenally shot, and the story was tight, and I give it 3 bullets.
3 bullets. 3 out of 5.
Out of 5?
Out of 5.
Out of 5.
Well, 4 then.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Okay.
5 silent shots.
It was 3, and it's like, I get 5.
Hey,
Got 2 more for me.
man, 2 more.
Sorry. What you got, Wilkins?
It was shot really well. I was unexpectedly kind of surprised at how much I ended up liking it. Based on director, I already figured it's going to be shot really well. There's going to be moments when I'm just like looking at, like the Florida shots were really good.
Yeah, how ill the shots are.
Exactly.
Just kind of get
he
you.
definitely set tone for location. Like when, even thinking about color wise and all that other stuff. Like when they're in Beacon, they're in Beacon. When they're in Europe, they're in Europe.
Yeah.
The movie keeps the beat. Like there's moments when he feels like he wants to go faster, but the movie doesn't go faster.
Yeah.
Right.
It's specifically towards the end when he's going after dude. Rating wise, I'll give it a straight 4. Like and mainly because I personally felt that for the closing, you could have gave me more closure in the character and where he's gonna go. But like. Where's like the Twitch kind of gave me a little like the jokey parts of like this is like this I'm gonna have to fucking sit with this chick and she's gonna heal up. It's like what do I do?
I think he's gonna have to end up killing.
He's gonna go
again.
back to killing.
There's a lot in that Twitch.
No choice.
A lot in that Twitch. Like,
Maybe you're just like me. One of the many.
It's like fucking month 4, like
that is not gonna work for
she's
him.
taking a fucking shower, like what the fuck?
we were gonna leave. Are you still getting ready?
Oh my god, when are we gonna fucking eat? Like Jesus Christ, I'll kill somebody. Also, too, like anybody who shoots in the Dominican Republic and actually shows the Dominican Republic and makes a point to not show any actual Dominicans, but just location. Props to you. Props to you.
Death-defyingly avoiding Dominicans.
No. Away, camera. Other way. No one. Because that specific airport, that La Romana, where he lands, La Americana, where he lands.
Yeah.
Once you get out of that airport, it is wall-to-wall human beings. Somebody trying to grab your bag to take it to a cabbie. Some dude trying to sell you a beer.
Yeah.
Everything is happening to you right on that spot. Like, I turned into a fucking asshole the moment I guess, like, I don't need it. Get the fuck away. But yeah, I'm actually interested in reading a graphic novel so I can see, like...
Me too.
I am too.
Yeah.
I feel like I was saying to you before, it's like I feel like there's more in the beginning.
Right.
And then that part where he fucks up is probably middle.
Yeah, I wonder what section of the graphic novel series this was. This little revenge story inside of it.
As long as they explain in the graphic novel why it was 20 fucking feet of fuck.
I don't think they get into that.
And we shot it from the other side of the soundstage, 200 feet away on a long lens, so that all the distances matched.
I really doubt that
It was just. It was a.
maybe in the graphic novel it's drawn in the crease.
Clearer.
It's between the creases in the graphic novel. So the production designer was like, that's 25.
There's an
feet.
asterisk on the bottom.
You're gonna leave
not
my
to
realistic
scale.
aspect out of it.
Exactly.
You're gonna let me live that realistic aspect out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Not to scale.
So,
Wow.
Even though
No, that was a very standard sniper job. I think.
I
believe.
Honestly,
With
I
the
did
race
think
bit.
he freaked out a little bit more than I would expect him to after everything happened when he was on the little motorcycle.
Yeah. Well, he does say that is the first time there was ever a mistake on a job. That's what he says.
It's like through everything.
So he's done maybe hundreds of jobs at that point. Never had a mistake happen to him once.
Yeah, exactly.
So
20 feet
that's
across.
explainable.
He's a poison guy.
That's
Yeah,
explainable.
he's poison.
He's the poison execution guy.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right. He said he missed doing like more. He was like anything creative. Like I would like to slowly poison somebody. Or he's like, when's the last time I had a nice quiet drowning?
And that was his problem. That was his mistake.
Yeah, he'd
was
been playing
thinking
too
about
much
that.
fucking-
Thinking of like,
Sure.
oh, I should have
He's
done
bored
this.
at the job.
That was
He was
his mental
projecting manifestation.
Yes,
That
he was.
it.
He's already
That was it.
manifesting
He's
how
bored
he's
on the
gonna
job.
be like, yeah.
he's fucking bored on the job, man.
Yeah, that's
Like
it.
it happens to everybody.
And then he got sidetracked by the titties, and then
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
The titties
In
came
fact,
out.
which
Yeah, I mean it's
That's reasonable.
It's kind of far away from his normal girl. His heart rate went up because of the chick, right?
Yeah, bad choice of girlfriend.
Yeah,
His heart
Needed
rate didn't
bigger
go
titties
down
than
until she
hell.
brought out the paddle and shit.
That turned him off.
That's what turned him off. He's like, oh, wait,
I do the
hold up.
hitting.
Avenue
Digressor.
54 Film Club highly recommends The Killer, except for Chris. Chris gave it
No,
2.5 stars.
But
No,
still
I still
recommend.
say I
You
recommend.
recommend.
Yeah.
all right,
watch
all
it.
right. So yeah,
Like a
so
blood ritual.
we highly recommend watch
To
it.
know what not to do.
Yeah, right. Hey,
As educational. Oh, entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only.
entertainment
Watch it
purposes
if you wanna
only.
be
So.
entertained.
Yeah, if you
But don't
just
pay
want
attention.
no. If
Don't
you're looking
pay
for
attention to it.
if you're looking for
Do it for-
education or depth or any
or
sort of
realism.
serious filmmaking,
Go to the cable guy.
Or
Watch the
realism.
cable guy.
watch
if
the
you want
cable
that.
guy
Yeah.
where all the great ideas for the
more
film
real
came
than
from.
The accountant.
Or the accountant.
The accountant.
More real than that.
Listen, fucking 2.5. But watch it if you want.
Highly
you know?
recommend. I highly recommend this. 2.5.
Entertainment purposes only.
If I'm effective, it's because of one simple fact. I don't